Alright, video 2, Nick the Modern Mystic. Not outside. I really should have done it outside, but it's kind of rainy and yuck. So I said, the hell with that. But I'm not walking, which is good. But I'm not, the camera is also going to move because I'm holding it. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Style issue and such. Irrelevant. There, I'll go with my elbow. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, thanks for the video. Yeah, I have been thinking about a lot of things about my personality and how it does provoke problems. Obviously, I always make excuses for myself, but at the same time, I don't. I mean, I just, I know I should do it differently, and then, all of a sudden I see the little glint on the edge of the pitchfork coming at me, and yeah, I'm by nature I'm not a general, I'm a soldier, and it's like when I see something that says that's a non-starter. Okay, that's every guy I ever saw that was on the enemy side. He was wearing that kind of hat. And as soon as I see that non-starter kind of statement come out of somebody's mouth, it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, they're those guys you pitchfork. And I guess for you it was sort of the, you sort of romanticized the whole rich man, poor man thing, upstairs, downstairs. And also sort of the futility argument, the whole universing thing, as if, we're can't do anything. And I'm not saying we can. I mean, it might all be quite futile. But I'm saying I'd rather go down fighting than, let nature play its game. I guess part of this is I might be more invested, I'm not saying my life is worse than your lives or any of that kind of stuff. Maybe you went through worse stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I've been through some shit, and so I've sort of done that Poeskian thing. I've sort of been in the Poeskian dungeon. So I've had a bite of this, the real ugly pie, the real nasty shit. And you just know, oh man, if that's going to keep on happening to people, that's not good. I mean, I don't really want to get into it. I mean, but I was sort of schizophrenic for a couple of years when I was a kid, and it was not good. But anyway, yeah, it was a lot of just don't even want to think about childhood too much. So yeah, it was. These are all pretty. I've sort of been in the trench. I mean, I've always kind of thought of myself as, that's where I've been. I've always been in the trench my whole life. I sort of was born in the trench, fighting the war. And so that's all I know is fighting. So I'm sorry. I mean, I'll concede the point that I'm abrasive sometimes. And that I might even be... I hate to say I was wrong, because I'm going to say, well, but I wasn't, because you were talking shit that just wasn't acceptable. I mean, it sort of was game over kind of stuff. Okay, game over. I mean, if the rich are going to survive the revolution, then fuck the revolution. If we're not going to do the guillotine thing, then, you're taking all the fun out of it. It's that kind of argument almost. I mean, I know it's not that argument, because it's not like you were saying this is the way it is, period. End of the conversation. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, you were talking, you weren't pontificating. And that's sort of where I have to draw a line sometimes, is I don't know when people are talking and when they're saying, or when they're declaring. I guess that's the difference. People talk about how they want to have a conversation on YouTube. And while they're doing that, though, they're basically declaring, what the truth is, or declaring what they claim the truth is. And that's sort of bogus, right? I mean, if you're going to make declarations, that's not when you have conversation isn't really made out of declarations. That sort of declarations are sort of basically saying, here it is. The only thing you can do is argue with it, right? What do you do with a declaration, especially one that you know is wrong? All you can do is argue with that. You can't really converse with a declaration. Yeah, so anyway, no point in going all this stuff. I'm just, like I said, I've appreciated you and Joe over the years. And, even if, there was some sort of eternal divide between us, it wouldn't undo the fact that both of your brains have influenced mine, and you've made videos and said things. I mean, I can't just pick out a whole bunch of them and just list them, but they were provocative and um, well spoken, well stated things that were useful in terms of what there was useful knowledge in this stuff, and so you can't undo that. And I guess even on a personal level, there's just value in that kind of communication, where you can both say something like "I," and you can both like kind of laugh at the idea. Oh, I just said "I" again. Or I just said "I chose." Oops, me brain did. My memes did. My life experience just decided that I'm going to be an asshole again. And so there's a certain charm to all of that crap. But you sort of put it. It's just this: we're humans, and in some respects, we're trying to do the Vulcan thing. Here we are human, and we're trying to be Vulcan. And Nick, you'd probably be the best Vulcan out of the bunch of us. I mean, you're a pretty disciplined guy, and I'd probably be the worst, even though I'd want to be the best. I mean, I'd really like to be Vulcan, but I'm just way. I mean, I got way too much human blood, so I need a blood transfusion or something to get myself, out of the, to do something with my tension and my personal frustration. I guess that's it. I mean, I take this thing pretty personally, because I have lived it. It's not just I don't go to the trench 8 hours a day, work in the trench, and then go back home. I just been in the trench my whole life. My whole life is the trench. And so I eat it, breathe it, live it, and I'm I mean, it is the biggest fear in my life. It's not now, but the future. It just scares the hell out of me. Just even contemplate all these harsh and disgusting possibilities and the probabilities. I mean, we know this is. Here we're having this little jerky conversation on YouTube, and it's just so. It's such a desperate hope. It really is. It's like wishing on a star. Oh, you mean we're going to have a conversation on YouTube and the world's going to get rational? Yeah, what are the odds of that? Shit. So yeah, this is all the components of it. But I look, I understand your impatience with me. So yeah, if I piss you off, you have a right to be offended. You have a right to a whatever that level is of respect thing and all that kind of crap. And if I cross that line, you have a right. I didn't deny you your right. I missed you, but I didn't deny you your right to be pissed off. And so I can appreciate it. I mean, Joe also. I mean, it's not, like I said, there's not much you can do about it at the time because, yeah, it's all, emotional stuff. Because nobody likes to be dissed, And I was feeling it, and you were feeling it, and it's just the way it was. You would think you'd get past that. I mean, I have to say that I think it's not as big a threat, just because you start to get used to this thing over time. I mean, you start to know how to do this a little better, because at first you really wouldn't converse with complete assholes in the street. You know what I mean? If somebody starts yammering bullshit, you just walk away. You give them 50 cents for some booze and you walk away. You don't sit there and have a conversation. And on this medium, you're almost obliged, to answer these assholes. They make some stupid accusation or say something stupid, and it's like, well, I mean, if I don't say anything, then I let this guy get away with it. I mean, fuck. I mean, somebody's going to get the impression that this guy is saying something I can't challenge because I didn't challenge it. And so, like in the real world, you just wouldn't put up with that shit. And they wouldn't be able to label you with it. They wouldn't be able to put it's almost like they can put a stickum note on you. And you just can't unstick it. And so it's like, you offended the homeless guy today or something. It's like you got a stickum note for everything you did during the day. But just, there's so many ways, I guess, to metaphor what happens on YouTube that just doesn't have anything to do with any life experience, where People can say things to you where they know if they said that to your face, you'd punch their fucking lights out. And it's just because they do have this distance that they don't have to deal with that fact. That they can't get in your kitchen that way. And on YouTube, your kitchen door is wide open, and they can walk right in, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And it just gets, and that's part of the frustration, I guess. It also makes you less patient with other people, and you also end up taking things for granted too, I suppose. I do that with a lot of people. Because you just figure they're going to be there and things are going to be okay, and you're not going to, and so you just take it for granted. So and you also take it for granted that they'll understand. And again, that's always dangerous because, that's when you do commit some of the worst violations of respect, is with the people you're the most comfortable with. You get too comfortable with somebody, it's just so easy to fuck them over because it's just like, it just, you become your native selfish asshole, and you think they're going to always understand or appreciate that you didn't mean it that way or whatever, and you just don't. It's like you're almost using them as toilet paper or something, and it's like you just don't even see it until you look at it and say, oh yeah, I just wiped my ass with them. And because I have this expectation that they understand, and that's just stupid. I mean, it's not that stupid, but it runs out. I guess is all I'm saying. That wears thin after a while. I mean, I think I can say most people who I know or trust, yeah, they can take as much rope as they want, and I know they're not going to hang me with it. So anyway, but yeah, okay. But thanks for the clarification, yeah, I appreciate the conversation. I mean, some way to have it where it doesn't get distorted by all the noise. But it's not like you can close the doors. It'd be really nice if, like, yeah, you, me, Fred, and Darwin's Hamster could just have a little Four Horsemen channel somewhere. We'll go solve the universe's problems and then come back to the rest of society and explain it to them. Well, but yeah, that's really not practical, I guess. But it's kind of funny. I mean, it is just the way it works out. That we are on a youth medium, and I guess that's another part of it where everything gets out of hand. Because yeah, some of us aren't grown up. Concede the point. So we fall into it. We get sucked into it, and I'm trying to distance myself from that, though. Like I said, I can't. There's no point in me saying I'm getting better when I really can't show have real proof of that. But I sort of feel like I'm getting more disciplined. But yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So anyway, new start kind of a thing, or whatever you want to call it. That's good. But yeah, it's really a gnarly subject. I mean, how exactly do you explain to people that the thing, the most cherished, precious word in the universe, life, is a big lie? That it's it's a baited hook. We have to come up with metaphors even for that. It's such a false, fake, phony cheese doodle. That's not a good one. You gotta do better than that. Yeah, but anyway, it's nasty, and it has there's just absolutely not one single positive agenda built into it. And it's only by, luck and circumstance. Well, I guess it's just an incidental consequence that intelligence would, yes, it can build an intelligence, but intelligence can't find any use for life. I mean, you really can't find any use for it. It has no rational or logical constituent. It's only rational and logical to something that can think it can win by creating a loser. I mean, if you think you can win by creating a loser, you can play the life game. But if you know that's crap, then you're done. The life game is over. Yeah, it's probably a good way to put it. Anyway, some other way is probably better. No doubt. So, but thanks for the video, and yeah, it's, yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's probably enough. Till next time, and such.